Hello, hello. Hoping that everything is working for my early birds here. We shall see. Hello, hello. I'm like a minute early because I'm impatient today. um, anyway, today, guys, my live stream is actually going to be a little bit shorter than usual because I have to run a little bit later. I'm going to see some family. So it's going to be more of like a 30-minute live stream. Yeah, so waiting on some people to arrive. I know I'm early. I'm sorry. I do this sometimes. Um, hey, Snorb. How are you? Good to see you. So today's topic, I tweeted about it. I put it in the community tab, but if you didn't see it, I will tell you what it is. It is going to be your favorite night shows or parades. Hey, Funny Net. Hey, Brandy. Oh, Kentucky. Awesome. Hi. Iggy, you made it. I thought you said you had to go to work. Or am I catching right before you're going to work? Hey, Eovit. I don't even know how to say her name. I'm just gonna admit it. I'm gonna call you EO. Is that cool? Like Captain EO? I'm gonna call you that. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Jay Ferlack. Thank you for joining. So today's topic is going to be two things. I want to talk a little bit about favorite night shows and parades. I was inspired because Paint the Night got extended. If you guys listen to the TTA podcast, we talked about it a little bit today. Paint the Night is getting extended in Disneyland, and I'm excited because that means I can probably catch it on my trip in October. And so it made me want to talk about night shows, parades, fireworks, just what our favorites are, past and present, and also what do you want to see in Disney World with a new parade? Because right now we don't have a night parade at any of the parks. And I wanted to talk about what we'd like to see in it. Probably going to do it around the 50th anniversary. That's what the rumors are. So what would you like to see in that parade? But first, let's talk about the old stuff because it's always fun to get nostalgic. So my favorite, I guess, nostalgia parade is Main Street Electrical Parade, and it really is tied to nostalgia. When I was 2 years old, it was the first time I ever went to Disney. My dad like rented one of those like crazy big cameras that you like actually had to hold onto your shoulder to record VHS tapes. And we had this VHS tape of our trip, and I was obsessed as a kid with the electrical parade. We did the whole thing, and Cinderella like waved right at me. And when I was a kid, I watched it over and over and over again, and I'm pretty sure it drove my parents nuts with the song. So it's always been a favorite of mine because it was like the first part I ever saw when I was 2 years old. And I was just absolutely obsessed with it. And then when I saw Paint the Night, which I was very like begrudging about because people were like, oh, it's like a spiritual successor to Main Street Electrical Parade, and you're gonna love it. And I was like, oh, nothing can be better than that. I guess I was wrong because I'm so in love with Paint the Night. I had the most seriously cliche magical experience watching that parade. My heart just was full of so much joy when I heard the audio callbacks to the electrical parade and how they put that into the music. I love that parade so, so much. I've never had so much fun as I did seeing that parade, which is why I'm really excited that I'll likely have a chance to see it in October. So those are two of my favorites, just like nighttime things. I'm also a really big fan of Hollow Wishes. I never was a big fan of the original Wishes. You guys know that. You know that I love Happily Ever After more. But Hollow Wishes is so cool. If you haven't done the Halloween party, it's so worth it just for that and their parade. They're both fantastic. And Hollow Wishes has an amazing like 180 finale. The fireworks are just everywhere. It's really, really cool. So those are just some of my favorites. I've always kind of liked Fantasmic. I know that there's a big love for it, but I've never been one of those people that's like obsessed with it. I'll go when I have time, but sometimes I will skip it. I've never seen the Fantasmic in Disneyland, though. I want to this trip because I've heard it is much better. And also, I've seen their dragon. It is so much bigger than ours. So I definitely need to check their Fantasmic out before I, like, officially make a ruling on it. But I always enjoyed it. It was never my favorite. And I have a lot of love for Illuminations, which you guys know as well. And I know it's probably going to change soon. It's been there for, God, how long has it been? 15 years? 20 years? A lot of years. So, I mean, they might update that eventually, and I think I'll just have to accept it. But I love the story behind Illuminations. I think it's very uplifting. I love when all the different countries light up. I just think the whole thing is super beautiful. So, love those things. So, yeah, start telling me in the chat, guys. What are your favorite parades, old, new, Disney World, Disneyland? Maybe you've gone to one of the international parks and you loved something over there. Start letting me know. I know Poegi Parade said, yes, Main Street, because it is really good. I don't think we really need to debate this. We all know that Happily Ever After is the best night show, says Snorb. I mean, it is amazing. It's really amazing. It's so amazing to see how they evolve, you know, when they have different technology, just how they're able to evolve their fireworks shows and the projections and like all of that. I feel like anything that they come out with is going to at least technologically top what they've done before. It's really, really cool. Kristen says Electric Parade music was so good. I definitely miss it. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I like Paint the Night, is because there's all these little callbacks to it. And the opening for Paint the Night is very similar to how they opened Main Street Electrical Parade. And I think it's a really beautiful way of calling back to something that I think is super classic and then having like an update on it. Kristen said, I went alone to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party last year and loved every minute. That's awesome. I'm really thinking about doing a party solo within the next year or so. I've not done a party solo. I've done the Halloween party twice and always with friends. So I've been really, really thinking about it because I would like to I think there's aspects of it that I would like to just slow down and enjoy that maybe my friends weren't so into, like meeting characters and stuff. So I definitely want to do a Not So Scary alone. Snorb says, hot take, not a Fantasmic fan, only speaking for Disney World. And Jay Fralex says, Disneyland Fantasmic is so much better. Yeah, that's what everyone tells me. So I haven't seen it in person. I will say that, like, so the difference, right? Am I correct in this? The Pocahontas scene is not in Disneyland. It's like a Peter Pan scene. Is that correct? So I think that the Pocahontas scene gets a lot of flack because apparently that other scene is great. I like the Pocahontas scene. I just like Pocahontas. So it's just nice to see it get a little bit of representation in the parks in some way other than just a meet and greet. And I almost just pulled my thing out. Hey, Ryan Thompson. Hey, Fun Disney fan. Hey, Past Trav. Ryan Thompson says, can't wait for the new show, but I do miss Wishes. Illuminations is the best, though. Patriot Studios. Illuminations is such a great show, which is why I don't want Disney to replace it with something else. But it'd be interesting to see an update to Illuminations so that I could stay in Epcot. Yeah, I would like that, actually. I think that they could definitely update the projections. Obviously, we know they have better technology for projections. So I always think, like, what can they do? What more can they do with the projections on the globes? Can we update the music? Can we update the actual fireworks? I'm always just so enamored by, you know, the fireworks that right before the finale fireworks that just all kind of come up in that big moment, and like it just brightens all of Epcot. Like, that's my favorite thing in the whole world. Like, I don't want that to ever go away. So yeah, it's like so important to me. Rob says bigger globe. Hey, Rob. Yeah, I do think they need a bigger globe, because I think the problem is most people can't see what's going on that globe. Like, you have no idea unless you're standing there with a camera zoomed in, or you've got a really good spot. I see so many people who are like trying to see, and then they kind of just tap out. Like, they lose interest in that part of the fireworks. People talk, people just get distracted because you can't, it's kind of slow and you can't see what's happening. Maybe just like less globe, more fireworks all the way through. I don't know. That would be really, really cool. Fun Disney fan says, I had a great parade idea. Okay, listen to this. I'm listening. let's have a dance party style parade with the style of, wait for this, superstar limo. It would be the best. I don't even know if they'd have the rights for the likeness of half of those people anymore. But that's actually a good segue into the next part of what I wanted to talk about, which is what kind of parade would you want to see in Disney World? Okay, so 50th is coming up. We haven't had a parade. They're not really talking about it. We don't know what it's going to be. What would you like to see, and what park would you like to see it in? Because I know some people were suggesting even outside of Magic Kingdom, maybe an Epcot parade. I don't know. I was thinking that it would be really cool because, you know, this is such a big anniversary, to do something that kind of harkens back to the history of Disney. So kind of how the 60th anniversary fireworks were a lot about that. I would love to see a parade like that. Like, why can't we get a float with like Steamboat Willie, right? And we've got that whole scene, and it's black and white, but like really bright white lights, and like have the Steamboat Willie Mickey, which we know they have that costume because you see him in Fantasmic, and have that maybe even be like I would say the beginning of the parade. And we could almost go through the history of the movies, or maybe even history of rides, right? If we're celebrating Disney World's 50th anniversary, maybe it's floats around all of the different rides at Disney World, which would be super cool. I mean, they do something similar for Halloween. They have a Haunted Mansion float. So I think it'd be really neat if it was like kind of taking you through time of Disney, but in a parade style. I don't know. I would love that. Let's see. Patriot Studios, what's your favorite pavilion to watch Illuminations from? Honestly, I don't have a favorite. I've watched it from so many different places. I think Japan's pretty neat. And I also don't mind watching it between, France and the UK. There's like that little like bridge area. That's really cool too. Let's see. Daffy Stardust says, oh, that's funny. Kristen Weiss actually says Steamboat Willie. We said it at the same time. Daffy Stardust says, I'm honestly not a fan of having parades outside of Magic Kingdom. They gum up the works as far as people getting around the park. I guess that's true. I mean, we used to have a parade in Epcot, right? It wasn't a night parade, though. It was like a midday parade. It was that, the music is in my head right now. Tapestry of Dreams, is that what it was? I feel like Epcot could do it. I think I think it all has to do with crowd control, right? But I think Epcot would be the next best park. I think it would be tough in Hollywood Studios, which also used to have a parade. Or Animal Kingdom, definitely, just because there's like Animal Kingdom's so sprawling. Like, I don't even know what that parade route would look like. Snorp says, my idea for the 50th anniversary parade is a parade based on past failures. So floats based on Superstar Limo, Alien Encounter. Hey, that was not a failure. That was a dream come true of a ride, and it was a failure that they ever closed it. Tiki Room under new management. There'd be a lot of fire in this float. Rob says, whatever they do, I hope it takes a moment to give Roy the credit he's due. Without him, Disney World would have died with Walt. You know, that is really interesting. And I think a kind of a good point, right? Like, all we ever do is focus on Walt, and I mean, gosh, I'm not trying to like say anything bad about that, but it is interesting to give dues to the other people who supported him and were a part of this. Funny Net says, better idea. They close off the roads in Hollywood Studios because no one is going there right now, and they lay down the tracks for Disney's best and simplest ride, Hot Rods, and the floats go 60 miles per hour. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. People would be so mad. They'd be like lined up forever to see floats. I'd just like to zoom by them. I think that's a great troll. Ryan says, always yes to anything involving Steamboat Willie. Yeah, I just want to see more. Like, I want to meet, like, when I saw Steamboat Willie in Fantasmic, I was like, why can I not meet this version of Mickey Mouse? I don't understand. Iggy says, do you think it's time to replace Festival of Fantasy since other parks around the world have much better parades? Rumor has it the Cirque du Soleil new show will be celebrating Disney history. Yeah, okay, so first point, I love Festival of Fantasy. I think it's fantastic. I think now with the issue with the dragon, I don't know, maybe it's time for them to replace it or update it. It's not that old, though. So knowing them, they're really probably not going to make any moves on replacing that for a while. I think it's still pretty impressive. And honestly, the only 3 o'clock parade that I've ever cared about in the history of me going to Disney. I normally never liked them, never cared. And I feel like I really, really like this parade. So I don't know if it's going anywhere anytime soon because it's such a big fan favorite. And also, Cirque du Soleil, yes, I did hear this as well, which makes me really, really want to see it. I love the idea of it being more tied into Disney. Let's see. Patriot Studio says, would like to see a parade that goes through progression of Walt Disney's legacy through his animation. Right. It starts with Oswald, even better. Go to Steamboat Willie, Fantasia Mickey, ending with current Mickey. Do you think people would be like, they wouldn't like if it was on Mickey, though? Because isn't Mickey, like, usually the big finale, right? So I guess that would be my only thinking of, like, I feel like that would appeal to niche people who love the history of Disney, but the general attendee would be kind of mad if they were like, there's just all Mickey, like, where's all the other movies that we love, you know? So I don't know if it would ever fly, but I would love to see a parade like that too. Sophie T says, I think it would be cool to just feature some rare characters that aren't seen as much or floats based on lands, rides, and Magic Kingdom. Yeah, I think land and ride floats would be cool. I think, like, you know, Happily Ever After is a great example of what you can do when you start to represent movies that haven't been represented. I think it's a huge hit because of that. People get very excited to hear the smaller movies that they really love suddenly represented in a fireworks show. So if you did that in a parade, I think even better, right? Sophie, are there specific movies you would like to see in that parade? Let me know. Jay Frelex says, what was the old Hollywood Studios parade? I think there was a couple, right? I think there used to be an Aladdin parade. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think there used to be an Aladdin parade there, and then there was also, like, there was almost like it was like a motorcade parade. It was like characters, but like in like Hollywood style cars. I vaguely remember these from like 90s, early 2000s, and I think it went down by where all those busts are and like towards Star Tours, like that back area there. But they did used to have a couple of day parades in Hollywood Studios, but it's been a long time since they've done that. Kristen says, revisiting a Pixar parade at Disney Hollywood Studios would be interesting. I agree. I think that'd be the best place for it. I think if we're gonna pull like a Pixar fest sort of thing into Disney World, that it makes the most sense in Hollywood Studios. But then you think about Tomorrowland and how that's becoming kind of Pixar heavy, so who knows? Snorp says, realistically, the parade is probably going to be something unrelated to the big 50. Watch us get a Pixar play parade with one new float. Rob says, paint the day. I think that would be really anticlimactic. I mean, isn't the whole point of Paint the Night that it's so bright? We need the dragon back. Let's see. Hoping comes back before we're there in January. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the updates are on that. But I don't know. Are they ever going to bring them back? I think it was just such a scary thing and they don't want to deal with that again. But, Rob says, also, I think in terms of rules, you can't see more than one Mickey at a time. Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, would they break that rule for time frame? I guess not. I don't know. I just think having a bunch of different, movies and stuff would be more interesting. Daffy Stardust says, at the same time, there are certain evergreen songs that need to continue being emphasized along with the unexpected ones. Yeah, I think when they plan these things, let's be realistic, they are a business, right? So they are trying to figure out what appeals the most to people. So they're always going to have certain classics. You know, there was a time where Frozen was in everything because it was so big. Like, they're going to make their decisions based on popularity because that's going to draw people to these parades more. So they're definitely going to be the things that we'll never see disappear. And I don't know if we'll ever see the whole idea of Mickey and Minnie being the finale disappear either. It's pretty much been the same. Well, I guess Main Street Electrical Parade, the finale was the big eagle, which is so weird. So 80s. Patriot Studios says it'd be cool to see a parade with floats that all honored the very first attractions that existed when Disney World Land first opened. Yeah, that would be neat. I would love to see what that would look like. That would be so cool. I mean, and now that you have the redhead that you can meet, why not have like a pirate's float and like she's a part of it, you know? I don't know. Snorb says, easy solution to the multiple Mickeys. Split the floats up, keep them maybe 300 feet away from each other. I mean, it's not really a parade now, but regardless, problem solved. That would be hilarious. Just the longest, slowest parade ever. You just like wait a half an hour between floats. Jay Frolic said, yes, Aladdin at Hollywood Studios. I saw that one. Yeah, so scour the YouTubes. There's definitely videos out there of Aladdin parade at Hollywood Studios. It's so weird. Thank you for correcting me. Yes, it is very 70s. Sorry, when I saw Main Street Electrical Parade the first time, it was 1988. So in my brain, that's just when all things began, you know, when I was 2 years old. Iggy Parade says they had a bunch of Mickeys, Mickey Mania. Love that parade. Dancing Skeletons. Oh, that would be a really cool float. That would be a really, really cool float. Oh, could you imagine, like, people actually dressed up as the skeletons doing, like, cool little dances in between two of the floats? Oh, that would be really, really cool way of representing it. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what they announce. I'm hoping that they don't wait too long. I hope that, like, next D23 or something, they start talking about plans, at least for a parade, because I think people are really itching for it. Like, would I love to see Paint the Night there? Sure. I don't think it's ever going to happen. And something new would be nice. I think we also deserve something special and something different. So especially if we're waiting this long. I know at some point Disney had a Goosebumps stage show at MGM, so maybe bring that back as a parade for Halloween. Did they? Wasn't that like Universal or something? I would love to see Hercules and Meg and the Muses on a float. Oh my god, yes. And all the better if you can get people playing the Muses who can like sing like them. That would be fantastic. Have they ever done a parade that was chronologically dedicated to the Disney princess movies alone? No. I think that might be better for a midday parade. I could see how that might like put some people off for a night parade, but I feel like for a 3 p.m. parade, it would be kind of cool to have a princess parade, right? That would be super neat, actually. And I mean, obviously you can have the princes and the other characters there, so it's not just like just princesses, but that would actually be really, really neat. Daffy Stardust says Darlingtons from Peter Pan flying as drones. That's weird. Maybe we just paint drones and then we name them the Darlingtons. These are all really great ideas. Some of them are silly and some of them are great. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do. So I've got about 10 more minutes. This is going to be a shorter stream than usual because if you guys saw what I was saying the other day, I've been traveling every weekend, which is why I'm doing this on a Friday. I'm actually going to see my mom's side of the family today. I'm so excited. I have 3 uncles, 3 aunts, 8 cousins. It's madness when I go there, but I'm very excited to see them all. So with 10 minutes left, I'm opening it up to any topic, any question, anything. Are you planning a trip? Do you have any questions for me about dining, planning, solo trips, anything? Ask me whatever you want. Go. Fun Disney Fans says, and I have an idea that isn't as crazy as Superstar Limo Parade Party. I have a title, Glow with the Magic Electrical Parade. It would be great dance party energy parade. I would love that. My favorite thing from Paint the Night was the fact that everyone was like dancing along to the music, and it was super upbeat. And I think if we took that to another level, like that would be really awesome. Maybe just everyone gets glow sticks, you know? We just make this very 90s rave style. Rob says best resort pool. So I can answer this by like the best one I've been in and by the best one that I know just is the best one. I think the Beach and Yacht Club has the most impressive pool. Like I really do think they do. I have not been able to use it or go in it, but I do think that they have the most impressive pool. But I'm kind of partial to French Quarter because I like the slide. It's like the dragon thing's tongue. I don't know. I just like the design of that. I also think it's cool that Art of Animation, the Nemo pool, when you dive underwater, they play music. It's like kind of wild. I mean, it's such a simple concept, but like really cool that they do it. Patriot Studio says Carousel of Progress needs a float. Yeah, maybe we do an all Carousel of Progress parade. And just all the floats are every scene from the Carousel of Progress. You get to relive it all over again in parade form. Brilliant. Hire me, Bob. Have you ever been to Trader Sam's? I'm drinking some iced tea, just letting you know. Have you ever been to Trader Sam's? Any recommendations on time of day to go? Seems like it's often very crowded. It is. We've gone even kind of late where it's been crowded. I've gone with Rob and some of our friends. It's small. That's the reason why it's so crowded. They really can't hold a lot of people. And so it kind of sucks if you have to wait. However, they usually tell you like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You know, a lot of people are coming in and out. So we've never waited longer than that. If your group is smaller, you're going to get in. I would say that maybe your best bet is a pre-dinner drink. So instead of going after dinner, which I think a lot of people do, go before dinner. Just go for one drink before dinner. So let's say 5 o'clock. Enjoy the atmosphere, order a drink, get all the fanfare of that, and then like go to dinner or something. Oh, thank you, Daffy. He says, I just posted a video on the topic you covered today and gave you a shout out. Thank you. I will check that out after this. What do you think of Rob's Jack suit design replacement for Stitch Great Escape? I mean, I think it's amazing. We talked about it on the TTA, and I'm for it. At first I was like, no, I really want Wreck-It Ralph, but like now, and especially after seeing Incredibles 2, I'm all for it. Let's just do that. Any thoughts on Indiana Jones possibly taking over Dino Land? I heard this rumor a while ago. I don't think it's gonna actually happen, but if it does, I would be so into it. And then I feel like you could replace the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular with something else, right? Because like then we just move all of Indiana Jones into Dino Land area, which makes sense. You've got like the whole archaeology part there. They don't even have to mess with that. It kind of works. I feel like the Institute could even be like changed in some way to reflect that. And then, you know, get rid of Stunt Spectacular, put a new stage show there, and retheme that whole little area in Hollywood Studios. I think that would actually be really cool. Let's see. I go to college in Florida, so I go to Disney once a week with my roommates, and we were planning to go a pass holder event in Toy Story Land in the morning before class. Do it. So I actually signed up for an event in September. I don't know if I can swing it. Like, I keep looking at, like, maybe I'll just go for 3 days and do that pass holder event. If not, I'm gonna let it go. Because I know before you go to the event, you have to then, like, almost like confirm. So I will probably pass, obviously, so someone else can take my place, but I don't know. I go back and forth. I was like thinking of going September 16th to 19th, but I don't know, guys. I got to save up for Disneyland and the big January trip, so I don't know. Hi from Texas. We are staying at Coronado Springs at the end of November. How are the crowds right after, during Thanksgiving? During Thanksgiving, honestly, nuts. After Thanksgiving, better. A lot of people go for Thanksgiving. You'd be surprised. You think a lot of people would want to stay home, but it's not necessarily true. A lot of people travel for the holiday because they have time off, school's off, and all of that. But the weeks between Thanksgiving and like early mid-December are actually quieter, and then it starts to ramp up again for the holidays, and then Christmas into New Year's is nuts. So assume the worst for the week of Thanksgiving, but the crowd should get better after Thanksgiving. Fun Disney Fan says, I'm back. I lost connection because I'm in the mountains. What did I miss? We're just talking about general questions at this point. Let's see. I finally managed to score lunch reservations for Be Our Guest the day before we left for a trip last week. How was it? I did lunch once at Be Our Guest. I hear a lot of mixed things. I thought it was fine. I know a lot of people don't love the food but enjoy the theming, so that's a big reason why they go. Let's see. Good idea. We were weighing going on early during part-time or later in January when the parks closed early. I'm sure that everyone's else's plan. I assume we're talking about Toy Story. Yeah, I heard that going to Toy Story right before closing, like in the last half hour, is like the best thing to do. Any ideas if Disney made an Avengers-based attraction? I mean, they do in the international parks. It's really interesting how much they're doing there, and obviously a lot of the issues here are like contractual with Universal, so they get to do all that stuff over there. I would love it. I mean, I've heard the Iron Man ride in Hong Kong is cool. They're opening up the new Ant-Man ride as well. They do fantastic over there. They're supposed to be very neat. I would actually really, we were talking about those like crazy robots. I don't know if you guys saw this a few weeks ago. They released that video of like they have these like stunt robots. And I would love to just see an amazing stunt show with them that was like Avengers themed. Maybe you could put that where Indiana Jones is. Sometimes people ask me what I want in a Tomorrowland upgrade from Snorb, and I always say the same thing. I want a new Sunny Eclipse loop. He can alternate between the two. I don't know how Rob would feel about that. I think he likes the tried and true one. I have an idea for a nighttime parade. This is from Fun Disney Fan. Oh yeah, we were talking about the glow with the magic. I guess you got disconnected when I said that I loved that idea and I wanted to be a 90s rave. Let's see. Daffy Stardust says, my lamb dinner at Be Our Guest in April was excellent. Good to know. Blobfish Guy says, I love Be Our Guest for lunch and dinner, but their breakfast tastes like a free buffet at Holiday Inn. That's not a compliment. Yeah, I've heard that. There was 1 or 2 times I thought about doing breakfast there because, you know, you can get into the park earlier that way, but I'd rather just spend the money and do Crystal Palace than... If you can make any Disney restaurant a chain restaurant, which one would you pick? Hoop-de-doo. I just want that in New York. I just want to... I mean, we do have, like, cool, like, dinner experiences here, but I want that in New York. I want to be able to go to that here. Patriot Studio says, I like the roast beef sandwich at Be Our Guest, but the gray stuff was the best darn cupcake I've ever had. I mean, it is delicious. It should be. It would be terrible if they made it and it wasn't delicious. I had breakfast at Be Our Guest. This is from Sophie, and I really hated the food. Way overrated for the price. Maple Leaf Mouse said, how would you spend your time in Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? So I've done it before. I'm a candy person, guys, so I do go trick-or-treating for that candy. I'm not lying. I bring back to the hotel a bag of candy. But also, I really do like meeting characters in their costumes. It's unique. You're never going to get that any other time of the year. And then towards the end of the night is when I like to do the rides and hop on, and the lines are really short or barely there towards that last hour. And I love, love, love the parade and fireworks. I do not miss them for Not So Scary. So that's, you know, those are the things that I really love to do. I feel like some people do the parties just to have the short ride lines. I like to actually get involved in all the other party stuff. If they replace Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, what would you replace it with? That's a good question. I actually really like Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. I don't think it gets talked about or enough love, but every time I've gone, it's been really funny. Those people are really good at improv. So I don't know if I'd want to replace it. But if I did, you know, you have to think of like how the building is. It is kind of a stage. I guess they could do another like 3D movie, but do we need another one of those? I think I'd rather keep it as it is. Rob says, try the gray stuff. It's okay-ish. It's going to be next t-shirt, Rob. We need to make it that one. If I have a great question. I have a great question for you, Christine. Disney approached you and said, we're bringing back Superstar Limo and we need to tear an attraction down and do it. What ride would you pick to leave? When I'm not boycotting this choice of theirs, if I had to pick anything to rip down, to put Superstar Limo in, Hall of Presidents? I don't know. It's kind of boring. Sorry. I'd probably rip that down and put it there. It wouldn't make any sense at all in that area, but whatever. American history / celebrities, limos, I don't know. They would find a way to tie it in. I wouldn't bring back Superstar Limo. Yeah, none of us would. Fun Disney Fan just loves to bring it up in all of my streams. Blobfish Guy says, what would you do if Disney asked you for a concept for a new projection show? And this is gonna be my last question because I do unfortunately have to run. I think a new projection show. I going back to the Avengers thing, I want to see it, you know? Like, I know that we've got that whole contractual thing with Marvel. I'm so excited for, like, when we can start seeing more more Marvel stuff in Disney World. You guys know I'm a huge Black Panther fan. I like the Avengers. I think it's so big right now, and I wish they could capitalize on it more. So I would love to see more of that. I guess if it's in Hollywood Studios, or I don't know, maybe we get our own Marvel Land. That'd be cool. I'd be down with that. All right, guys, I do need to wrap this up, but thank you so much for joining me today, especially because it was announced so last minute. My schedule's been nuts. I promise next month will be more normal. if you prefer Fridays over Sundays, let me know. Shoot me, you know, a Twitter, a tweet, DM. Let me know in the comments, because you know I want to work on a schedule that works for everybody. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any other questions, you guys know how to get to me. I love taking questions. I love turning them into videos, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you later. Bye.